Welcome to Unapologetic Transmissions. This is a space for raw truth, real patterns, honest reflection, and remembering that your life already belongs to you. I'm not here to fix you, save you, or become the authority over your life, because you were never meant to hand your power away to another person. You are the authority in your life, always. These transmissions are simply me sharing what I've lived, what I'm noticing, what my life has taught me, and the patterns that I see playing out inside humanity and inside myself each and every day. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and trust yourself deeply. And remember, you get to choose your life again and again and again, as many times as it takes to make it the most epic love story ever to be created. Let's dive in. Hey friends, welcome back to another unapologetic transmission. Today I want to start by sharing something that I wrote the other day when I was super aligned, super in my body, and just it felt like the thing I needed to remember. What is it about every time I record somebody starts doing something downstairs? Wild to me. Anyways, I wrote this the other day, and it was something I needed to hear. And I was sitting here like contemplating what it was that I wanted to start really getting mindful and intentional about sharing on the channel. And like, I don't want it to just be rants, right? Like, and yesterday, not yesterday, a couple days ago, the, wear the fucking dress video. That one was power. Like, that was my pattern seeing in real time. And I am extremely proud of that because that's more authentic than I've been on this channel, I think, ever. Like, really letting myself play and shine as the human that I came here to be. And I've had several conversations since then that have really opened my eyes to some of the things that I have been settling for in my life. And of course I did, right? Because those were what was normal and everyone else does. But I don't actually agree with a lot of it for myself. And it's like my life has gotten so loud in making me see like what is for me and what is not. What is allowing me to choose joy and what isn't. What feels like a huge weight on my life and my body and what feels like freedom. And I feel like those questions, those curiosities that we can have in our lives are what deeply transform mine as much as it does. Because I am intentionally choosing to create a life that I am excited to get out of bed in the morning to live. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't have my fair share of things that I'm walking through, hardships, frustrations. But every time I am faced with one of those, it gets easier and easier for me to say, in the moment, how is this serving me? Is this serving me? No? I'm going to let it go then. Because I am intentional about what kind of life I'm choosing. If it does not bring me joy, if it does not allow my body to open, it's not for me. If I feel like I have to shrink and contract myself, it's not for me. And that's a blessing. It is such a blessing to know those things. And that doesn't equal harming other people when it turns out that those people aren't serving us anymore. But it still hurts to see those things, or to see that the things that they're sharing towards you. So maybe not the person exactly. Like, there are some people that I will choose to keep in my life forever because I believe in that for me. But there are certain things that they say or do or try to hold expectations on me that I will not do, because that's not for me and it doesn't serve my life. And if they don't respect that, then eventually, yes, I will have to create space and what people call boundaries and all the things, like whatever. But I have full faith that in time, people start seeing you as this new identity, this new version. And eventually, if they want to be a part of your life, they'll stay and they will see you for who you are now. Or they're just going to walk away themselves and you're not going to have to do a thing. It's like energies attract like energies. And if somebody really doesn't want to rise with you, they will just walk away. They'll stop reaching out because you're not serving them anymore either. And it's like kind of cool to witness in real time as it happens. And it's kind of like playing a game. And I love that because life isn't boring. Life is a game if you make it that. So before I get too ahead of myself, this is the piece of writing that I wrote. And it's very short, very simple. I am the blessing and always have been. My power of choice, my sovereignty, is the power of God, the power that flows through every piece of the vessel I call a body. When I choose, mountains move, rivers flow, and the air sings with the melody of song. This life will either be abundant in shadows or abundant in unconditional love, and the choice is forever mine. My choice is to play in all that is. And then shortly after I wrote that, another like one small line popped in, and it was, no one can judge what we accept. And I've really been sitting with that this week, of whatever we accept in ourselves, no one can use to control you. No one can use to have power over you. Like, it's just not possible. Like, unless you choose to let it. But if you don't judge yourself, if you accept who you are, it's almost laughable when somebody says anything otherwise, because you're like, you're so silly. Like, what do you mean? That's not who I am. That's not what I meant. Or, well, that's your viewpoint. This is mine. And like, I love that. Like, it's such a power move without having to be unkind. Like, it is the kindest thing that you can do to take back your power of choice, to take back your power of accepting you. Now, that doesn't, again, like the wear the fucking dress video, that does not equal agreeance. Like, of course, there's pieces on my body that I don't necessarily agree with, but I accept myself and all of my mess. There is not a thing anyone can say or do towards me, because I love myself unconditionally. Now, do I still get frustrated sometimes when someone is misunderstanding me? Absolutely. And in every single time, I am getting better and better at catching it, of I don't need to argue someone else's viewpoint. Like, for example, the other day, right after I had recorded the wear the fucking dress video, and I was still like on a high from it. I was talking to somebody about my experience and my past and how it came to be, and like, this is how I live my life, and I love this. I love how I can see patterns. I love how I can feel so fucking deeply in life, but yet not detach, but also detach. Like, I can step on the outside of the emotions and can see both sides of a perspective, or all sides. I can see how each piece plays a part into a bigger picture, especially if it's not my own. I can do it a lot easier with other people than I can myself sometimes, which is why it's really beautiful to use life as your own reflection, because life is always reflecting to you what you feel on the inside. And I got that reflection again of people don't always see what I see. People don't always understand me, but that is that's a identity that I say more than I should, and I'm getting better at it. But I say quite a bit. People don't understand me, and it's like, no, that's not true. I have many people in my corner that understand, or even better, they may not understand me, but they choose to still accept me and walk life with me, whether they understand or not. Because it's not about having to choose between their way or my way. It's about us living authentically as the versions of ourselves that we came here to be, and loving each other for that, and getting curious and knowing that we always are doing the best with the tools that we have. And if something we say or do harms you, it's never intentional. It's literally living life. And if you come to me with a sense of curiosity, or tell me, hey, this thing hurt, I'm going to hold space for that, because that's who I am. That's who I chose to be. Because I'm not at war with somebody else over their experience of what my life is like. I know both truths coexist. But just because I feel that way doesn't mean everyone does. And it doesn't mean that I'm wrong. But as I was sharing it, a human that I really, really love unconditionally, I guess, had a hard time holding that. And instead of hearing my words of my past, of how it affected me, it was, you think too much. You think too much. You need to learn to let stuff go. It's not that deep. All the things, right? It's like, yes, and I am learning to let it go. But in order for me to let things go, sometimes I need to walk through them and understand them, to bring love, to bring light, because that's the pattern seer in me. Because once I walk through it and I understand it, that's how I hold it so deeply with other people. And I have walked a lot of shit in this life, a lot of chaos, a lot of what people would call traumas. And it's like, nah, my life's just really flavorful. There's a lot of colors to my world. And now I get to choose, because I know what it feels like to be in all of them. And I know what it feels like to be in the negative and dreadful, monotonous life, feeling like there's never enough, feeling like everyone's against you, feeling like no one understands you, and just surviving day in and day out with no color or joy. And that was a choice I made for a while. And what got me out was choosing that I was done. I was done living that life. And whether I saw that in my outer reality or not, I was going to change it. Because I knew whatever you feel on the inside, you see on the outside. Because that's who I was as a kid. Like, you take it all the way back. And when I was a child, I just knew shit worked out. I knew everything was always working out for the best. The present moment was all there was with me. I didn't worry about the past, didn't worry about the future. I forgot about half the shit people did because it was like, yeah, whatever happened, it's done. That is actually a beautiful gift to have. And it's like, I'm going to go back to her. She's going to be my why because she knew what was up. And very few people know this, but like, I have my little sacred space over here. This is where I sit and I get centered and I remind myself of who the fuck I am. And it's my space. And I have this little thing that holds pictures and it says, make today ridiculously amazing, because it's my reminder. And I have 4 pictures. Every single one of those pictures is a picture that I loved from when I was a baby and a toddler. Because I'm doing it for her. Because she deserved it. She deserves it now. And if I do it for her, I continue moving no matter what happens in my outer reality. If I don't make my children my full why, now don't get me wrong, they are a big piece of why I chose her. And it's because to choose her is choosing me, and to choose me frees them. Because if they're my why, it is so easy for the ego, for the subconscious mind to jump in and say, well, I am older, I know better, do life this way, you can't go do that because you might get harmed. And like, the fear gets underneath, and then your children feel that, and then they feel like they can't go and live their life without doing harm to you because you've made your life them. And I've seen it time and time again. There are parents that make their kids feel like they can't move away because, well, you can't take my grandchildren away from me. How am I going to be able to be a part of life if you move away? And it's like, I get it. I get it. But we cannot let our love control, because that's not freedom and that's not love. And that's why I became the unapologetic mother for my little girl, who I needed, so I could show up as my fullest, freest, most unapologetic self. Choose me, choose the light within, choose to love myself no matter how I was showing up, even when I was fucking up, as I'm rightfully so gonna do. Laugh about it, because why the fuck not? We don't have to make it so damn serious. And then that's what gets passed to our kids. And then my kids, when they are a part of life with me, it's because they chose it, not because they feel obligated, not because of some expectation or condition that breeds resentment and bitterness and frustration and overwhelm. And it frees them to choose themselves. So then I can choose myself, and we can all live this life together. freely and beautifully, because our cups are so full that it doesn't matter. Now, that doesn't mean there's not going to be grief. Doesn't mean that we wouldn't be sad. Like if my kiddo decided to move away and I didn't see him anymore, yeah, it would suck. But I'd be so fucking excited for them to go live their life and do the things that bring them joy. That's the things I focus on, not the fears, not the, when something good happens and you bring all the fear into it, it sucks the joy out for the person and stops them from living. And people wonder why I stopped sharing a lot of my life for a while. It's because every time I would share it, somebody always had something negative to say or told me how it was wrong or how it couldn't be done or my viewpoints were too naive or too kind or I'm too this or too that. And it's like, fuck this. I am not too much for me. I'm not too kind. I am not too anything. I am just right for who I am meant to be for myself and for the people who choose to stay a part of my life. And that is how I'm freeing my children from this world. We're not conforming and compromising our lives away to make other people comfortable. We're living full out. And if that makes people uncomfortable, that's a them problem and not mainly. Because I know every ounce of uncomfortable that has come into my life has changed my life in miraculous ways. Because comfort doesn't bring living, it brings survival. And I'm not willing to sacrifice my life for survival anymore. I'm going to live full out, freely, unapologetically as fuck. And I'm going to remember that that's enough, that I'm enough, even when I'm fucking up. And I'm not judging me. No one else can either. And at least I'm happy and joyous and loving this life. And like I said in the previous video, if someone's judging that and angry and bitter about how I'm showing up in the world, that's a mirror for them and says a whole lot more about them than it does me. I'm not walking around bringing people down. I'm asking people to rise up into love and joy and unconditional living. And if that's not for you, that's okay. I'm not making it so, but it is for me. And I'm sharing it for those that need the reminder and the permission, like I needed as well. Because this life is too fucking short. Or I don't really know. Is it short? It is what it is. But life is magnificent and it gets to be lived. It gets to be loved. And I'm not going to suppress this living anymore. I'm not going to settle for mediocrity. And I'm not going to settle for bullshit. And if I don't like something, I'm going to change it because I have fucking choice. And I always have. Until I gave it away for a while. Learned some pretty cool fucking lessons. Hard ones, but cool ones. And now I'm back. Authentic as fuck. Powerful as shit. I'm living my life for me. And whoever wants to be a part of that and ride along, like, let's go, bitches. Like, I don't. We get to love and we get to be free and we get to be alive. And that's what I forgot. And that's what that little girl needed. And that's what this channel is about. That is what unapologetic living is the reminder, the remembrance of the life that we came here knowing as children, but was conditioned out of us because we chose to let it. We also can choose to rewrite it and change the story into one that is our most epic love story ever to be created, which is the one with ourselves. And that's my mission, and that's my joy, and that is what I wanted to bring to you today. So until next time, choose yourself. Everything rearranges from there. Much love.
Flow like rivers, wild and free. Dive into oceans that call to thee. Breathe in the wind, let it carry your name. Unapologetic living is your claim. Let the waves whisper your story bold. Their rhythm eternal, their wisdom old. Echoes of dreams in the sea foam's dance. Find your truth, take the chance. The tide is rising, beckoning your soul. Crash through the doubts, make yourself whole. The world is vast and the water's deep, where courage wakes and fear's asleep. In every droplet you're alive again. With every ripple a new world begins. No need to hold back, embrace the stream. Unapologetic living, your lasting